Are we starting herbaceously? Herbaceously? I was reading in some of our comments on our video about how cheating ruins video games. Some people were saying that they think a bigger impact on games getting ruined are streamers and streamers' community. So I wanted to explore that topic a little bit.
Want to go on a deep dive?
I wanted to. So what I typically like to do, even if I disagree with a statement outright initially, because initially at least I don't agree with that, I still like to kind of enter in, be the devil's advocate to see if I'm wrong, to like understand where that statement's coming from. Maybe there's some truth to it, kind of a thing.
I got an idea.
Let's hear it.
Let's play, since we don't have really an opinion on it. One will defend and one will attack.
Done. All right, I will be the one saying streamers and their communities ruin video games. And you can be the one
that says baloney.
All right.
Give me you start.
Let me think. Okay, let me think about what I could think of some arguments being. So the problem is the followers, the community of streamers only will play what the streamer likes to play.
Yep.
So when a streamer comes in and plays a game for a bit, the game pops off. But then the streamer, being the financially motivated gamer, right? Because they're motivated by money. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily malicious.
We're all motivated by money.
You know, it's their job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they move on to the next hype game. Their community then moves away from that game, thus creating a dead game. Because once all that community leaves and goes to the next hype game, because they're following a streamer, that leads to games dying.
Well, to combat that, for one, if the streamer is the one that people followed in the first place, the game got popular because of the streamer in the first place. So it wasn't the game, it was the streamer. If everyone's just leaving a game that they love because of a streamer, that's called sheep mentality, really, right? I mean, they're just following them. But you can argue that the game got as big as it did because of the streamer in the first place. Some of these games may not have been nearly as big if these big streamers weren't there. Arc Raiders may not be nearly what it is if it wasn't for Dr. Disrespect, Shout, and Mr. Peanut. They might have been doubling the numbers of this game. There's so many shooters that come out that people don't really talk about that could be good games, but big streamers don't play it, so it doesn't get the recognition. So I don't really understand that argument as much. I do understand the argument of streamers' communities can be toxic. I do agree that they can be toxic, but some also aren't. But I don't think them taking the players from the game makes much sense. If the game's not good enough to keep everybody there all the time anyway, then there's something wrong with the game. People will stay. There's only a certain amount of people that follow streamers. It's not a majority. It is a minority still, even if it's probably like what, maybe 15%, maybe 20. We've never followed a streamer to play a game before.
So hypothetically, even though I agree with your argument,
yes,
I am the one that disagrees right now.
Yeah. Play your part well.
Well, you might say that streamers make games successful, but the problem is that there is a lot of games that come out, not just the ones that the streamers play. So these smaller studios that come out with a game close to the same time that Arc Raiders comes out, because these popular streamers are playing our one game Arc Raiders, these other games don't get the time of day. So all these people have their eyes set on this one game, and so these like smaller developers are just left out to dry because their games are good, but no one tries them because they're not trying them, because the streamers are all playing those games. So you might be correct that it makes success for some games, but you're leaving out the picture that there's all these other potentially games like indie games and all this stuff that they come out, they're great games, but no one tries them because they're not in the spotlight of the streamers.
I could see that argument 5 years ago, but indie games are bigger than they've ever been right now. So many streamers are playing indie games. So many people are talking about indie games. We are talking about it. Asmongold plays a lot of indie games. Was it Moist Critical plays a lot of indie games. A lot of these big people play these indie games. Like I got into the Sworn and all that kind of style games because of streamers. I honestly think it's capitalism for one. Streamers that are popular, if they pick up your game, that's a way for your game to get big. I mean, you're rolling the dice if the game's good enough to get a streamer, but if it's a good game, people are going to play it. So I don't necessarily agree with that because there's so many games that I don't know any big streamer plays that are successful. Like Fellowship. Don't know any big streamer besides. I mean, I think I saw a Preach game. He did one review on it, but I haven't seen any hardcore streamers. There are streamers that play it, but not big ones, right? That we know of. That was a wild success. That's an indie game with like 25, 30 people in the development studio. So it's like, I don't think that that's a good argument. I think people are complaining because they don't like that sheep mentality of people just follow their streamer. But you know what? If that's what people like to do, that's what they're going to do. People follow celebrities. People follow like specific directors or specific studios or whatever. That's just how they are. They like, if they liked a game that they did, or they like the game that the streamer plays, they're like, ooh, we like the same stuff. I'm going to follow him so I don't have to do the research. I don't think that that's bad. I think that games need to work on being, to just be good. Good games will be successful. Every once in a while, maybe if they don't advertise correctly or something, it'll fall apart. But these indie games are popping right now. This is the best indie game. If you're doing an indie game right now, this is the place to be. So I don't think that's a good argument at all. I think it's like 5 years ago, maybe.
All right, here's another hypothetical argument.
Bring it, Dad.
Papa, are you ready for me, Baba? Bring it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. Devs prioritize listening to streamers because of the obvious fact that there's a lot of eyes on them, right? So devs don't listen to the game community. Devs only listen to the streamers. Thus, games that could be better by actually listening to the game community are getting worse because they're only listening to the streamers.
Okay. That's your point? All right. That is true sometimes. That is a fault in the developer's direction if they're only listening to streamers. But you take a company like GGG that makes, which is Grinding Gear Games, PoE. I know a lot about PoE. They listen to their community. They don't listen to streamers. They talk to streamers. Streamers will give their opinions, and they'll say no to their face all the time. And they listen to a lot of the majority of people. That's a good reference of a community that talks to the community. I feel like Riot does a pretty good job of listening to community, not streamers.
So you're saying that is a developer issue, not a streamer issue.
If you're listening to just your streamers, then yeah. I mean, it depends on the take. Is it a majority take and a streamer likes it? Or is it just a take that hardcore players like? It depends on the situation. But if you're just listening to streamers, that's not good.
It also depends on the streamer. Because some streamers actually do listen to their community, and they can have an effect where they coalesce the community's opinions into one clear voice.
Yeah.
So, counter argument to my argument that I made, if the streamer is listening to his community is actually a way to clearly articulate the community's opinions and values, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, I just have a hard time grabbing that opinion of streamers ruining games nowadays because it's getting, like I said, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, that might be a valid argument. But with everything that I've been seeing, it's so much more community driven right now than it's ever been in gaming. So it's, to me, this is like we're going away from that, in my personal opinion.
So if a streamer doesn't like a certain game, normally that would be one person's taste. Not liking a game, that's fine, but a lot of people do like the game, right? It's one person's taste.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes the same game. However, if a certain streamer doesn't like the game, that sways the opinion of a lot of people.
Yeah, which is their right to do.
They might have been willing to try the game and give it a shot, but because the streamer didn't like it, they won't give it a shot.
Well, that's what Dudeman Duos is here for, to give you real takes about games as the everyday man. Because yes, that happens, but I mean, there's proof that that doesn't destroy games. I mean, if a game is good enough, yes, maybe people will leave it, but another streamer will play it and people follow that streamer. There's the big ones, but there's also so many streamers coming out. So many more popular streamers. Like there's always the top of the top, right? But I mean, there's so many medium to small streamers that are playing games. I mean, World of Warcraft, Asmongold was the World of Warcraft guy. He doesn't even play that game anymore. It's still very successful. Right. I mean, that's a huge game, obviously. It's not necessarily the best advice, but like there's a lot of games like that streamers will leave. PUBG. Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, all these people played it. It's still a very popular game right now. They all left the game. Right. They don't play it anymore.
It's not a dead game. It's not a dead fairly game. Popular.
Just because when streamers play it in its peak, and that's when it peaks, when they leave, those are the people that weren't going to hardcore play it forever anyway. People always play games for a month or two when it comes out. They rather stick with it, come back, or they move to the next one. We do that. We have a couple of our main ones. But like, it's just a way of gaming. You want to play new stuff. You want to see what's coming out. People complaining that it's ruining games is just not true. It means the game's not good enough if it can't retain players. There is hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, if not a billion plus people playing video games. There's enough community for everybody out there. If your game dies, it's rather wasn't taken care of by the developers or it wasn't good enough. Those are the two options, really.
And if people are following streamers like sheep, that's the sheep's problem, not the streamer's problem, because you should have a strong enough mind, right? That you're not just following people like sheep.
Yeah, I also don't like the argument that like people are social. They're going to follow people that they like. Like we're very social creatures. Streamers are a part of advertisement for video games. It's like the biggest advertisement video games have are good streamers. So they technically have more options to get more people because of these streamers more than the negative. So if a streamer is paid to play this game and they end up liking it and they bring their community, that game is now 10 times more popular than it would have been without the streamer. Just because they bring, let's just say, 400,000 people start playing this game because people are streaming it. And then now all the streamers leave. Now they have a player base of like 100, 120K people. That's probably more successful than it would have been without the streamers. You know, maybe it would have peaked at 250 and then dropped down to 60 or, you know, like you get more playability from streamers than you don't.
And again, so the problem is that people that are saying streamers ruin video games and their communities, you're lumping them, you're stereotyping them all into one group. There's different types of streamers. There's different types of communities. Like, so you can't just speak one for all and say just flat out that's the case. Yeah. There might be the case that some streaming communities are harmful to games. That might be the case. But it is also the case that there's a lot of communities that are helpful to the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just comes down to people.
It comes down to people. You can't just broad sweep it and say that. Generally, when it comes into my understanding, I'm kind of down the middle. I don't think you can broadly say that streamers ruin games. In fact, like you said earlier, a lot of times they can help games.
I think it's more helping than negative personally. But I do see the argument of toxic communities.
Yep. I'm sure there have been some negative impact on games from streamers for sure. Especially if the dev team is only listening to the streamer and if the streamer has some really bad opinions or whatever. You know what I mean?
Can I get an example of where a game only listens to streamers?
I don't know. I'm just thinking in the hypothetical space. Okay?
No, yeah, I'm just trying to think of a game that was ruined because of streamers, really. I mean, I guess there's probably maybe a couple, but like nothing that I've played that I can remember. Most of the time, streamers are an expression of a community. Maybe it's a small part of the community, but there's multiple streamers in each game that have their own community niche.
Yeah. And by the way, we're not streamers.
No.
So we're trying to approach this as unbiased as possible.
But what else? Yeah,
take it or leave it. This is kind of what we're thinking.
I don't even really care about streamer. I don't really I mean, we watch a little bit of Burnt Peanut now, but like I'm not a big streamer watcher. I've never really gone on Twitch or anything and just watched people play video games.
Yeah.
But I've never had a problem with it because I love the clips. I love seeing the personalities and the excitement it brings to games.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some toxic guys out there for sure.
There could be an argument that content creators have to some extent ruined video games, and ruined might be a strong term there. I would maybe take out ruined and just said have taken some fun out of video games because of all the we've talked about this in the past, but all the guides and how to min-max and like telling you exactly where and what locations to do everything, and so that takes the mystery and the fun out of the game because you just are just following these guides and these videos on exactly where to go and how to do it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch those videos.
It's hard to blame human nature on things.
Yeah.
It's like people that don't have as much time for video games like guides because then they're able to play the game. Sure. That's what they enjoy. If you don't have the self-control if you don't like guides like we do sometimes.
Just don't watch them.
Don't watch them. we watch them sometimes, but when we get to that point, it's like we want to at that. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to get mad at it. You can be annoyed at the culture. You can miss the old days, but like there's so many people that play games. There's so much money involved in it. Like you're just going to be guides.
And ultimately, I don't think streamers ruin video games. Do they have effect on games? They do have effects, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. I don't think content creators ruin video games. They have an effect on the community for sure. Cheaters? I'm going to say it 500 times. Cheating ruins video games.
Those are the big culprits.
Yeah.
Boy. And
that
you know what?
is truly what ruins video games.
Streamers probably help with cheating more than not. Because number one, you get to see it live action on popular streams of people cheating. So like people get a recognition of it. Do people cheat all the time, I'm assuming, against like hackers? Hackers are probably killing streamers all the time. Stream sniping them and killing them.
Here's a counter argument. Maybe those people are cheating because the streamers, and they want to be good enough to get in those lobbies, so they use cheats to get into those lobbies to kill the streamers.
That might be possible, but it's got to be such a small number. Cheating has been so popular for way before streamers.
Think about it though. Does streaming incentivize cheating?
Maybe for some people. I mean, I could see that for some people. I don't think that's the main. There's a big internal daddy issue that goes deep into cheaters, that it's not just I want to kill a streamer. Maybe those daddy issue people that watch streamers are the ones that cheat. Maybe it brings a couple people. I mean, but I mean, I think it's a mindset for cheating. And if you don't have that, if you have the mindset of wanting to cheat and thinking it's cool just to kill people because you think you're better, like that doesn't come from streamers. That comes from something else. Yeah. And then maybe that's a little pylon or like a thing for them to grapple on, is killing the streamer because they don't like them, and I want to just keep spam killing them. But
legitimately, I am curious. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
If you guys have some arguments as to why you think that streamers and their communities have ruined video games, like let us know. I'm honestly as unbiasedly trying to work through the potential arguments and everything, and maybe I've missed some things. So just let us know what you think.
Yeah. Logically, I'm pro streamer. I think video games are what they are today mostly because of streamers. I think it's brought the esports, all these conventions, everything has been exploding, and I think a big part is streamers and their communities and their work that they put into bringing up these games and bringing the nerd culture to life. I think they've done more for this than a lot of people give them credit. Games have been out forever. I mean, obviously it's growing because technology is growing. It's not just because of streamers, but like when people go to conventions, a lot of them go to see their streamer. And then they're going to these conventions, giving these people money for these games, bringing so much revenue. I think it's hard to dog on them. Like I said, there's probably some outliers of situations that make sense. But
I would say also that like the esports and the competitive scene has done a lot of good for the gaming community. Absolutely. But it also has led to some negatives as well. Like it's not a black and white. It's a gray, you know what I mean? It's had an effect, some positive, some negative. We're saying that we think it's more positive than negative, but we're not blanket statement saying that it's all positive.
Yeah, right? When it comes to like the EA Sports stuff, like that stuff's just inevitable. Like I don't like the argument of not of blaming, esports has ruined games. There's no world where games get popular and there doesn't become a sport out of it. People are competitive. That's what we're human nature competitive. That's gonna happen. You have 0% chance of not having professional video game players if gaming is popular. So not liking human nature, that could be your argument. But a lot of this is just there's.
Well, the thing is, competitiveness does sometimes. I'm thinking of when we were playing ARAM.
Oh,
and because League of Legends Riot came out with a tournament for ARAM, which ARAM was supposed to be just a fun, goofy, kind of random game mode. But because they came out with that tournament, when we went 5-stack, we were playing against these like super professional like teams that only had, ARAM specific accounts with certain champions. That took away that ruined it for us.
Yeah, it was unfun. So
there's definitely some negative to the esports scene and the competitive scene. It does have some negative effects, but it's not. Yeah.
No. You continue. Are you done?
I was just saying it's not black and white.
No.
It's not binary. It's not either or. Like there has been an effect.
Yeah.
Some of it's negative and some of it's positive. You can argue it's more negative than positive, but you can't just blanket statement say that streamers for sure just ruin video games. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
They're pretty competitive.
Yeah, like I said, I'm so logically brained that I can't think of the human nature part. Doesn't like that just is stuck in my head. It's like people are competitive. I was competitive. I used to want to do that kind of stuff when I was younger, not anymore. So like the ARAM thing is annoying, but developers can fix that issue. Like, if the developer's job is to put the community in the right direction to make the game more fun for everyone. The ARAM situation, you shouldn't be able to buy champions in ARAM. You should have every champion unlocked in ARAM and it's all random. Fix the problem instantly.
Yeah.
Now it's a way for people to test out champions. Boom, problem solved there too. Yeah. So it's like there's ways to fix these things.
Sure.
People's competitiveness has been a thing forever. So saying that ruined games, no, that just got people motivated to do different things. You may not like the thing they're motivated to do, but you don't get to control what people like.
Right.
So the developers are responsible to push that game in the right direction and listen to their community and find out what's the best balance that's between them. So I just don't like the argument of like people with free will ruining games or something. It's like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And ultimately you can play the game how you want. You don't have to be affected by the streamers. You don't have to watch any guides if to float your boat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can enjoy the game and just have a fun, goofy time and not be affected by all this stuff, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
So apparently I'm pro streamer. I didn't even know that. I talked myself in pro streamer. Look at that. I don't even watch them. I like them. I think overall good.
Yeah, I think overall they've had more positive than negatives.
I agree.
But
definitely some negative for sure. But I don't think it's enough to like blame streamers for things.
And by the way, we should just always say this ahead of time just for context. When we're talking about cheating ruining video games, we're talking about in a PvP environment.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
We'll just have to keep prefacing that. We're not, if you're cheating in your solo games, that's not affecting
nobody
anybody.
cares.
That's fine.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
That was our take. I like that. We should do that more often. A defender and an attacker.
Dude,
I'm a fan. I like arguing.
Next
anyway.
time it's your turn to take the
it depends on what the subject is. We can pick. I mean, I enjoy being attacky or defending. Like we like to argue a little bit, so
for sure,
be fun. Give us our next subject to attack and defend. Boom. Let us know. Give us a subject.
What should our next debate be?
Tell us in the comments below.
Boom. Shika boop, shika bam, shika rhubarb pie.
Peace.
Peace.